The United Nations on Friday condemned Sudan's recent aerial bombardment of civilian areas in South Sudan and said it could amount to an international crime. Last month, Sudan and South Sudan's feud over oil flared up into direct armed conflict over the ill-defined border, drawing threats of UN sanctions if the two sides did not immediately cease hostilities. This week, South Sudan, which gained independence in July of last year, accused Sudan of breaking the ceasefire by bombing 7 locations along their border.
I'm saddened and outraged to learn that such attacks, which placed civilians at great risk and have already killed and injured some and caused many thousands of others to flee, have been taking place yet again in recent days.
South Sudan accused Sudan on Wednesday of bombing and shelling 7 areas on the southern side of their disputed border in the last 48 hours, calling the acts a violation of a UN-backed ceasefire, which should have begun on Saturday.
I have seen UNMISS photographs showing recent huge bomb craters in civilian areas, including a marketplace. Deliberate or reckless attacks on civilian areas can, depending on the circumstances, amount to international crime.
The two neighboring countries disagree on a range of issues relating to partition, particularly how much the South should pay for exporting its oil through Sudan. Tensions between the two old Civil War foes, which erupted into border fighting last month, could hamper international efforts to push them to resume negotiations on various outstanding disputes. As the conflict escalated, the United Nations condemned Sudanese airstrikes on South Sudan's territory, and international pressure forced South Sudanese forces to withdraw from the oil-rich area which they occupied. The fighting prompted the Security Council to pass a resolution threatening sanctions if the two sides did not follow the AU roadmap, which stipulates a ceasefire and a return to negotiations. Marisa Christian, IB Times TV.